Hi, I'm Marty Nepko. Clients, friends, and readers, and viewers, and okay, me, aren't always completely rational regarding the coronavirus. Of course, it's easier to say what's rational than to feel it, but maybe the following responses to coronavirus fears may be helpful. Dear Dr. Marty, they're now saying the virus could be airborne. Like, I don't need to inhale someone's cough to get it. All I need to do is breathe people's regular air. I'm afraid to go outside, even with a mask. When I do and I see someone ahead of me that's coming toward me, I walk to the other side of the street. Should I get an N95 mask? My response: we're still learning, but the expert consensus is that outdoors, when encountering a person, because the density of the virus is 1/18th that of indoors, you only need to behave as though that person was a smoker. Stay far enough away that you wouldn't smell the smoke, or in this case, the virus. Indoors, for example in the supermarket, if you wish, wear a mask outside of your home if you have one. Even a paper one will do. In any case, don't touch your face in the market. Do wash your hands or use sanitizer on leaving. Also, use kitchen sanitizer or soap and soap and water on products you've bought. Those will go a long way to keeping you safe. Dear Dr. Marty, teachers are supposed to provide online education during the school shutdown. But my child and those of my friends are getting at most an hour a day. And mainly that's just, okay class, use this piece of education software and then that one. I don't need a teacher for that. My kids always did that on their own. I'm angry. Why can't those teachers teach a full day online? Here's my response. I understand. I've heard the same thing from my daughter and her 2 kids. But teachers are very new at this. I'm relatively confident the coming weeks will see real improvement. And remember, even if your child begins summer vacation 2 months early, he or she is unlikely to suffer any significant long-term harm. Hey, and think back to when you were a kid. Imagine you got to start summer vacation early. Wouldn't you have been thrilled? Dear Dr. Marty, I'm older and ostensibly in good health, but bad things happen to old people. What if I get a heart attack or just some unexplained severe pain? All the media reports scare me. Shortages of medical care and the prospect of triaging. Only the immediately life-threatened will get care. After all, that's what's happening in Italy, and the experts say that Italy offers the best projection of what will happen in the U.S. I'm scared. My response: the odds of your needing hospitalization are small. Try to remember that, or better, to distract yourself from such thoughts. The stress certainly won't help your health. Also, in most areas, the hospitals aren't so taxed that they can't provide care. Don't let the media's reporting the most dramatic stuff implement that that's the norm. For example, when the fires hit California last year, the vast majority of people were minimally affected, if at all. But the media kept showing horrific pictures in the relatively small, deeply affected areas, and as a result, our friends from back east were calling us frantically to be sure we were okay. Dear Dr. Marty, I know this sounds shallow, but with all the stores closed, I can't get a haircut nor get my nails done. I know it's irrational to worry about that when people are dying of corona, but I can't help it. My response: I understand. Looks matter to most people. Could a family member give your hair a small trim? Not so much that it risks you looking worse, just enough to keep your hair looking decent until the shelter-in-place edict lifts. Can you do your own nails? If you, like many women, have false nails, maybe this is a time to remove them. You can do that with 100% acetone nail polish remover, which is available in supermarkets. Let them breathe, which helps them avoid fungus, and then paint your nails, maybe in a fun new color. Dear Dr. Marty, my company has been struggling before the pandemic and tried to avoid layoffs, but the pandemic has forced my boss to put people, including me, on furlough. I'm afraid that if the shutdown continues, I'll lose my job. Even if the company doesn't go out of business, I'm not such a star with amazing technical skills that another employer will scoop me right up. I have only a few months of savings left. I know that the government is forcing my landlord to let me live rent-free for 3 months, and the bank to let me not pay my credit card nor my student loan without interest. With no interest. But I fear that those aren't going to help enough. I hate taking handouts, but this truly is a historically nightmarish time. I'm scared. My response: just checking. In tough times, paradoxically, some people end up spending more, or at least not cutting back. Spending can feel like a little bit of compensation for the corona stress. And with buying online so easy, like on Amazon, it can be more tempting to spend a lot. Should you trim your sails a bit? Also, creditors other than landlords and credit card companies and the government, the student loan people, generally have been more flexible regarding customer payment. You might want to have a conversation with them. Finally, while no one has a crystal ball, some experts assert that the American economy, which before the pandemic had been the world's strongest, will thus bounce back quickly. It's unclear whether that'll turn out to be the case, but because you can't control that, it certainly doesn't hurt to think that way. Dear Dr. Marty, I'm getting ever more frustrated with my spouse now that we're forced to spend so much more time together. I'm afraid I'll be like the cartoon, chasing after him with a rolling pin. How can I keep from exploding? My response: sheltering in place doesn't require you to be Siamese twins. Make sure you leave plenty of time for solo activities, even if you're in the same room. And just maybe it's a good time to sit down together and agree on even modest changes that each of you want to make to improve your relationship. And finally, dear Dr. Marty, I know it's crazy, but I'm afraid that the pandemic will lead not just to my dying, but to the end of the world. The virus is spreading wildly, mutating into God knows how many strains. They'll never come up with vaccines for all of them, and there are just too many idiots who aren't following the shelter-in-place rules. I've seen them cavorting on the streets, not just on video, but in my neighborhood. Society has made so much efforts at long-range planning to save the planet from climate change, and now I'm afraid it'll all be for naught. I don't want the world to end. My response: all the models, like models used to predict climate change, while providing no guarantee, indicate that worst case, less than 1% of the population will die from the virus. And if we can mobilize even the recalcitrant to follow social distancing and wash their hands, the death toll will be dramatically lower still. The world will not end. As the Buddhists say, the wise thing is to live in the moment. Try to do as much good and to reap as much pleasure as you can, moment by moment. This too shall pass. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and I especially like it if you hit the share button below and share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I'm flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.